Shit.
It sounds like shit.
A little bit, but that's okay.
All right.
Tell me, Tim he's got some family over, so he's not going to be on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But we're here.
It's the two sexy boys.
Sure. You know, I don't know. I didn't go to work today. I was sick all weekend.
Oh.
I forced
because of our date.
No, I was sick like before that. I forced myself to go.
Shit.
And then I woke up this morning. I was like, I can't do this. So I put in for a day and I was home, and it was interesting because someone else, like I had a friend who was also home from work today, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to play EDF a little bit?" I was like, may as well, right? Like I'll have a nap later, but I'm up now, so why not, right?
Yeah.
And we played for about 20 minutes, and then I was like, I can't even do this. I don't think I've ever been like so out of it that I can't play video games,
Was it like the chills? Like what was it?
No, just lightheaded. I don't know. But just interesting though, right? Because a lot of the time, you have a sick day. Like, of course, have a nap. Of course, like take care of yourself, whatever. But just, you can fit some games in there if you're up for it, right? But
not anymore. Nope.
Yeah, funny that I couldn't. So that was kind of interesting. It just sucks because today's the only day that I can manage. There's so much going on at work this week that, like, okay, now you got to be good, even if you still feel like garbage. Figure it out.
You got 4 days.
Yeah.
So you're done for a bit. So that's okay. Look forward to that, right?
Yeah, 4 days is a long time though. When you don't like, I don't know, a lot of jobs you can just kind of like, I'll just sit in a chair and be quiet, whatever. Like that's not my job. So being sick,
you can do the teacher equivalent, which is movie days or whatever, right?
No, I can't. Or I can't.
Not anymore.
Well, no, I can't. I don't know, whatever. I'm talking about work. There's 3 games that I want to talk about that I have interest in that I don't know a ton about, but almost intentionally.
Okay.
That No More Heroes game comes out in a few weeks, eh?
Yeah, it's early. What is it, January?
Like mid-January, yeah. I want to play it, and it looks more and more interesting the more I see about it. But I'm not sure.
The lack of preview coverage is disturbing.
Well, but I think that's just maybe poor publicity or something, because impressions that I've read, especially the most recent kind of wave of things come out about it, like people are actually a lot more impressed than they were expecting. So that makes me a little more confident for it. I mean, I'm going to get it anyways, No More Heroes, but I'm a little more interested now than I was before.
Well, I'm not jumping for joy for it.
That's fair.
I'll get your opinion first, I think, before I make a decision on that one.
That's fine. I've also been thinking about, do you remember Judge Eyes?
Judge Eyes, is that Judgment now?
Yeah. Okay. So I had totally forgotten about that game, but Judge Eyes was from the Yakuza team using Yakuza Engine. Does it also take place in Kamurocho, or is it somewhere else?
I don't know. Anyways, it's like,
it's a Yakuza game with less fighting, right?
And you're a lawyer?
Something like that, yeah. So crazy news that they renamed it Judgment, which I think is kind of lame. Judge Eyes is also lame, but it's better than Judgment. But yeah, an English dub is crazy.
Are you looking forward to that?
No, of course I'm playing Japanese.
Are you? Like you've been on the dub kick lately, right?
But for what games though, right? Like this game takes place in Japan. It's like super Japanese, so of course.
As opposed to anime.
Well, no, but anime's retarded.
I guess.
There's nothing Japanese inherently Japanese about it, right? It's cartoons.
Yeah. So Okay, so are you excited for Judgment in general? Like you've kind of like this is my impression. Like ever since Yakuza 6, you've played a few more Yakuza games since then. Like, are you like kind of like on a break right now? Did you need some breathing room before this one?
Well, it's
how
not
are you
gonna
feeling?
be along anytime soon, right?
Sure, sure. But I mean,
Um,
like we just had like basically three within the span of a year, counting Hokuto no Ken or Fist of the North Star. Like that's a lot, right? In the
yeah.
span of a year.
How do you feel?
Well, I didn't play the other one, so I think I'm okay, right? I think because I played 6 and 0 fairly close together because I like 0 was like I didn't get until summer of last year, and then 6 was early this year. So that's two within 1 year. I think that's I kind of hit my limit for a while, and hopefully the next one won't be quite so quick. They'll take more time with it. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like the thing that was cool about Judgment was watching destructible like counters inside of the convenience store. I was like, okay, that's kind of neat now.
But they did some of that with like the new Dragon Engine 2 though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
But you
it's
couldn't like
super
clear it
janky,
out.
but yeah. I don't know. I think it's less so much burnout as it is like 6 was pretty middling. It was
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
And Kiwami 2 was fine.
yeah.
Where like 0 was really, really good. And so if Judgment is really, really good, then I'll be in. I think again, I don't know a ton about it, but it seems to be a lot less action based, or my impression of it is that it's less action based, gameplay wise. Am I wrong in saying that?
Well, I don't. I haven't seen much on gameplay. If that's the case, that bodes well because the thing that I normally get fairly bored with quickly in Yakuza games is the action. Like it's competent. It's not great.
But don't you think the storytelling for the most part is competent too, though?
It is, but I mean, you're playing it for side stories and things like that. You're playing it for the mini games and the like the one major mini game. Usually, if it's done very well, then that one's the one that speaks out to you. Like baseball was the thing that I sank a ton of time in Yakuza 6. So and in 0 it was the whole diner dash hostess bar thing. So those kinds of things like are neat, and I think that's the time that I spend and have the most fun in Yakuza, like running around punching people, playing with those mechanics. I mean that's good. It's never let me down, but it's not the thing that I personally look forward to. It's the side stories and stuff. Like the main story can be whatever, but the side stories are always like the fun kind of wacky hijinks kind of thing that I'm interested
I get kind of bored of those too over time, though. No.
in. I mean, like in 6, you had Onomichi stuff like that. That was great. Like there's always like things that really stand out in those side missions, in my opinion. Like there's things that I remember from those side missions in just about every game.
Sure. Sure. The other game that I know like next to nothing about, but all of a sudden I'm curious in, is the Grand Blue Fantasy PS4 game.
What?
It looks really cool. I had like zero interest in it. So Grand Blue Fantasy is like a mobile RPG that came out. How long ago? Like
anime
years ago, right?
And
it looks like trash, and it looks like something that I like wouldn't have no interest in. But then looking at gameplay videos recently, like it actually looks really cool.
What about it is cool?
I don't know. It's an RPG. Like I think the fact that it's something that I don't know, it looks nice. It looks like there's some kind of mechanic there. It looks like it's funny. Let me lead into something else too, okay? I'm going to come back to Grand Blue in just a second, but I'm going to say that I started Dragon Quest 11 this week. Good friend Don sent it my way, which was super nice of him. So thanks for that. It's so boring. Like
I did not expect you to say that.
Yeah, I mean, I really, really want to like it, and maybe once I get into it, I'll be fine, right? But
Yeah.
very often at the start of RPGs, it's just that grind to like, I got to do this again, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like the beginning to every JRPG is very, very similar.
Yep.
And I'm feeling it right now, and it's tough to, hey,
And you just did one earlier this year too, like
with
what's it called, the Switch game, Traveler, Octopath Traveler.
oh yeah, I guess. So it's fine. Like it's exactly what I expected though. Like as soon as the game started and I got into a battle and it's like fight, 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 next, fight, fight, next, fight. Like it just I've done this before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like taking a look at Grand Blue like that, it seems like it's more action based, like Ease Wiz.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's more interesting to me now than like the standard menu choice battle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So and that's enough just to put it on my radar. That's all. It's not that I'm committed to buying. It's not that I'm 100% in. It's just, there's something that I wasn't thinking about before that I'm like somewhat thinking about now.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see. Right. Like
yeah.
I think you're just at a point right now where you're discovering information about it. I think.
Yeah. Like normally I just and it might sound funny for me to say this. People say, well, that's not true. Normally I don't pay attention to anime games. But it's on the radar now.
Yeah, I definitely see that. You don't really pay attention to like anime games. Like,
yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like I like Japanese games. I'm not big into anime games.
Yeah, like you wouldn't be caught playing Blaze Blue or anything like that. And
well, no, and if I was interested in it and it was fun, then sure. But it doesn't do anything for me. So whatever.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like right now, I'm just thinking about things that I'm maybe interested for next year, and like there's some stuff that I'm on a complete quiet period right now. Like Anthem, I don't want to see much more like other than like that's cool. It looks like they're making progress. That's fine. Like we'll see it when it comes out, sort of thing. And then I don't know. Like next year seems kind of weird. Like this whole Sony not going to E3 thing threw me for a loop. Like that happened a few weeks ago, right? That news. And they even now have they've confirmed that they're not scheduling any kind of announcements around that time, or at least that's what they're saying right now. I don't know if that's the Sony arrogance speaking right now, the thing that we've been detecting for the last year or two, but it's just I don't know. I don't know what's exciting about next year game wise, other than a couple things right now. And I think we talked about it a couple shows ago too. But not having that E3 focal point is kind of distressing a bit. But I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange because then I also don't want to be in the place where you come to expect something, right? Like E3 is absolutely like it's still fun, but I think it's less relevant than it's ever been, and I don't think that's necessarily a hot take either, right? Like you can very easily make announcements anytime you want, and everybody picks up on it.
Yeah.
Where before it was a show that you kind of had to pay attention to because this is where everything comes.
Yeah, I agree, but I like to see like the good thing about having Sony there was like you would have like not only Sony's stuff in their booth, they would have a lot of other things there, like some of the Sega exclusives, some of the like other things that are PlayStation exclusives that are there, and they'd all get announced kind of together that this stuff is coming out, right? There's my concern is like in the last few years, sometimes we'll see something come out and not even know that it came out. Like there's been things that like 428. If I hadn't seen any, like I haven't seen any coverage for it. It was not around anywhere really until like it was a small announcement from what I remember around E3 that it was coming out. And then like if that wasn't part of the news cycle, I don't think I would have picked up on it.
Do you
There's
think
little things like that that I wish that like there's things like that that I feel like are beneficial for having like a focal point for.
Sure, sure. Oh yeah, not that I kind of wish that E3 was as big as it used to be. I think that times have changed, right?
Yeah, they're making
So-
announcements at PAX now, at
Which is
TGS.
so fucking weird to me. But whatever.
Well, that's
Follow
how it is.
follow what people are interested in, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Uh
like
the
we'll
do
see.
you,
Like
you ta-
I'm really just yeah. Sorry, I'm just really interested actually. And now that like if Microsoft is still going to be outside of E3 and also Sony's outside, that means Nintendo's the only one basically on the floor now. So that'll be real
well
interesting
no,
to
but you
watch.
also have like other companies that'll go and do it. Like traditionally a lot of developers will have their own booth anyway, right?
They did, but last year we saw like a whole bunch of them got like pulled out like in the month leading up to it, right? So it'll be interesting to see like who's actually there. If Nintendo's the only one that's there, I mean that's beneficial for them, but it'll be interesting.
Sure. Do you remember Hypersports R?
I think you mentioned it, but I don't think I
Yeah.
ever played
Like,
it.
no, it didn't come out at E3 last year. They had Hypersports R was Konami's
Oh, that
like,
was track and field thing, right?
yeah, it's the track and field update. I was interested in that, but like nothing since E3. I bet it's got just slowly and quietly canceled. Don't you think?
You make it sound like the Konami took it behind the back of their store and like choked it to death in this underneath the like bath sea salts and
No,
stuff that they have
I think it's
at
more
the club.
just put in a box somewhere, and let it starve to death. But just that, I mean, that's a perfect kind of game that like you would never hear about this if it wasn't for E3, right? If it wasn't
Yeah,
something that like everybody was talking about at this time.
yeah.
I play. Oh, you know what I did try? Talk about little games that I don't know. Is it little? I've seen it in a couple places, but there was I think in a few weeks there's another game coming out, Fitness Boxing for Switch. You hear about this?
No.
It's a full price title, which is crazy.
Okay.
And I guess it's trying to bite into the Wii Fit thing, and they're pushing it on the store. So I downloaded the demo for it, and it's terrible.
In what way is
Well,
it terrible? Is
it's
what
just
I'd
like
like to know now.
they have this like, Wii Fit was like super low intensity. Like nobody's gonna get a work out of this. It's just a way for people to feel better about,
Yeah, yeah.
And it's exactly the same thing. Like there's just nothing there. And it's funny because they have different pop songs that you can punch along to, that you can exercise along to. And so the one, it was like a Kelly Clarkson song in the demo. And I was like, what? All right. And so when I started it, it's not even like the vocal track. It's just like shitty MIDI songs.
It's MIDI.
It's crazy. It sounds so bad. So I don't know. That's
Check out the demo for laughs, I guess. Wow.
for like a $70 game.
Wow.
I don't get it, but
Well, I guess like this is trying to capitalize back on the whole motion thing, I guess.
yeah, and I guess more power to anybody who's interested in it. Just
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything there.
But it's been what, basically Smash for the two of us still.
Yeah, Smash Brothers, and what else was I playing? There was something else I put some time into this week. You tell me about Smash Brothers, and then I'll talk about Smash Brothers, and we'll go into the other things.
I'm still not good at Smash Brothers. Like I'm collecting things. I'm opening up more things. Like I don't have every character yet, but like I'm putting my time into it. Like I'm finding fun in just progressing in the single player and stuff. But I don't think I'm any better at that game. And the amount of choice as far as fighters is concerned is completely overloading to my brain. And I know like some of them are pretty much the same as other ones, but I don't know. Like it's like the core team from previous, I kind of still know how to play as. There's still people that I like. I still like playing heavy characters like Donkey Kong and heavy hitters like Ike. Those are always my preference, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know what it'll feel like playing against other people. I've never been a huge fan of the way Smash feels like in terms of that stuff. But I don't know. It's I'd say it's fun. It's a good time waster. It has a lot of weird like mobile art, like mobile game tropes in terms of putting people into gyms to level them up and like going into caves and having to wait 6 hours for them to bring back stuff. Like there's weird things to keep you back coming back to playing the game that you would find in a mobile game. It's
does it feel like the mobile thing a little bit to you, or does it? I don't.
It really does.
I don't like. I understand why you say it, but I don't feel like that's the mechanic. Like maybe I'm being too generous with their intentions, but I find that here is some extra stuff because there's a lot of different ways to collect spirits in this game.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's there so that you can progress with it.
Sure.
And it's there to help you kind of do some things as you go.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I you know what you say about having like all these characters and not knowing how to, what do I do? Like it's almost being crippled by choice, right?
Yep.
I would say that it extends beyond just the characters and goes into like game modes and things that you can do. Like there is so much to do in this game.
Yep.
And last week when I had first jumped into it, I was less interested in some of the things that were presented. I'm like, I want to unlock characters and I want to fight and I just want to have fun. And I found like this week was a shift where like I'm grinding the spirit board hard and like I finished adventure mode and I'm looking at the challenge board and thinking, you know, what can I do to unlock some of these challenges, right?
Yep.
So I feel like it has pretty significant legs even in single player, which is not really what I was expecting, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to that too. I just, you know, the thing, like, so for me, this is the only mobile part about it. It's not like it's nickel and diming you and stuff, at least not yet until we see DLC or whatever. But right now, the thing is like I sign in. There's a checklist of shops I need to go to. There's a checklist of things I need to go and take a look at. That's the thing that reminds me of a mobile game, and it's. I mean, it's stuff that's all beneficial. It's not stuff that you have to do, but it's like it's a laundry list of items that I have to do every time I sign into that game, and that is kind of like I have to go to different places to check the stores of different things. I just wish it was a bit more streamlined as far as that's concerned.
So would you prefer to do that as it is now, or would you prefer to go to a coin machine like a gacha thing and just constantly hit A? I
prefer neither. I'm hoping that they would have a better way of doing it, but like these aren't really. I don't know. They're kind of nitpicky things, considering what this entire team has had to go through to provide us with this game. Like I totally appreciate the time and care that went into programming the stuff and giving us such a long tail as far as the single player is concerned, about making all these characters available, making sure everybody has some bit of satisfaction somewhere in this game. It feels like and something that speaks to them. Like it feels like things were crafted for the players in certain ways. Like I appreciate all those things of nostalgia hits like here and there with the spirits and everything. And I appreciate the entire team that did that. But there's just little things here and there that I feel like could be smoothed out a little bit more, sort of thing. And sure. At the core, like I'm still not a huge Smash fan, I guess, is really what it comes down
to. That's fair.
Yeah.
It's funny. I wish that I had people to play with. I don't know. I have no interest in playing online at all.
I mean, we did it the other day right after the podcast. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not bad, but that's not the experience that I want from it. Like if I think about when we were in university playing a lot, that was a lot of fun. Like that's the experience that I want from Smash Brothers. And I know that can't happen anymore just by virtue of age and life circumstance, geography. I mean, even without geography, there's still a lot holding me back from playing Smash with you guys every day, right?
Yeah. Well, we got New Year's coming up, so there's
sure.
an opportunity.
Yeah. But playing just one night every couple of months is not exactly the same experience as every single day when we come back.
Everyone, yeah,
yeah, of course, just whoever's around. But I'm happy that there's enough here that I don't feel like it's a waste of money at all, and I kind of did feel that way with the Wii U 3DS ones.
Sure.
But I'm really enjoying it still. I also played Earth Defense Force 5 quite a bit this week.
Yeah, tell me about that. Like, I'm real interested to hear your feelings on that game after you were kind of really building an anticipation for some of the changes that they made in it.
So the mechanic changes I really like. There's a few things that they've done, and it sounds like nitpicky things that nobody would care about unless you played the other games. But in this game, to increase your armor or it's essentially your hit points, I guess. You have to pick up armor boxes and then beat the level. But in the past, you've had to pick up armor boxes separately with each of your classes to increase the armor of each.
Yep.
And in this one, it adds to everybody's, which is good. So if you want to switch to another class, then their armor is already up to snuff, up to par.
Just that's good.
Yeah, you can jump between classes more. There's more mobility between, which is great. That's a great change.
Yeah. It's respecting your time a bit more. Like, I mean, like it's stupid for you to have to come back all
we'll get to the problems. The other thing that's nice is that in past games, if you die in a level, you lose everything. Where in this one, you get to keep some of it. So if it's on easy mode, then you keep 100%. Normal is 75%. Hard is 50%. Hardest is 25%. Inferno is 0%. Like you keep a certain percentage of the items that you drop.
So
when you game over,
explain that. Like you're picking up items, and those are the things that you'll drop, or is it stuff that you're like you're bringing into battle and you're gonna lose?
No. It's just collectible. So you pick up like red boxes or armor and green boxes or weapons, and at the end of the level, you get those weapons to keep, and then you can use those in your loadouts for future levels.
Okay.
And in the past, if you picked it up and then you got game over, like it's just gone. You don't get anything unless you beat the level.
Okay.
So in this one, you do get to keep some of the stuff as long as you're not playing in the hardest difficulty, which is nice.
Okay.
You can, if you pick up duplicates of weapons you already have, then that weapon gets a little boost, which is nice. So if there's a weapon you really, really like, then you can, I guess, grind out to make it stronger if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It's marginal, right? It's not like it's a new weapon. It's it can hold 4 shots instead of 3 shots.
Okay. That's kind of significant in that game.
Yeah, I mean it's like I say, these are all good things. These are all good changes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's missing the magic of the 4th game, and I'm not sure why.
Okay. You're not sure how it's missing it either?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. You know how sometimes when you play a game and it just feels right, it feels good, it feels exciting. Mm-hmm. This feels like a game. I don't know how to explain the difference.
It feels like an iteration.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like 4, and it retreads a lot of similar ground. But I would normally be okay with that with this game. The dialogue is not as so. This game is shit, right? Like you understand, this game is total like lower tier garbage. It's terrible. Like didn't this start off as Simple 2000 thing?
Yeah.
So. I mean, we've talked about that on the show before too. Like it's not a good game, but the 4th one seemed campy, but in a way that was sincere, where I feel like this one, it's campy and like they've become too self-aware. like maybe in the dubbing process or in localization, something changed and it's not as
Fun.
yeah. And I'm not sure the reason why. And I don't know if everybody feels that way or if it's just me. I don't know if it like you say, I was really anticipated for this game, so I don't know if it's just my
Remind me
expectations
again.
were too high.
When was so they released like that the diver character that you like, right? That was a new addition. In which game? Because
Wing Dive no, it's been around forever now.
has it?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there wasn't a new class in the last one or something like that. Right?
No. And even this one, just to kind of mix things up, I'm not playing Wing Diver. I'm just playing regular old Ranger.
Uh-huh.
It's fun. Like I'm enjoying the game. It's just I'm not as in love with it as I was the fourth one, and I'm not ready to express exactly why yet.
Sure. Huh.
But it's good. I like it. You know. It's funny because that sounds like a damning review of this thing, but it's.
But I mean, you got to set your expectations too. I mean, there's a lot more when it is that class of game. You got to expect a certain amount of jank, but you're hoping that it hits the tone right? And I think when you're missing that a little bit, and you're saying like it might be the translation because the dub might not be as spot on in terms of hitting what it needs to as a B movie sort of dub.
Yeah,
Maybe
well, I mean,
that's going to ruin it, wouldn't it?
you know when you go to watch shitty movies, there's a fine line between a movie being, uh, genuinely exciting,
Yep.
despite being shitty.
Honest is there's a honesty to it, like in that shitty movie, like they're trying
Yeah,
for something.
where something, and I mean different strokes, right? But something
Sure.
like Sharknado is the dumbest shit in the world. I have no interest in it because it's bad for the sake of being bad, like it's trying to be bad.
It's
And that's
trying hard.
sure, and that's not interesting to me. And not to say that EDF5 is like that, but it's kind of the same idea where this is tonally not hitting where I need it to hit.
Sure.
But again, I
But
can't exactly explain.
can't describe it right now, so it's hard to talk about it.
Give me some more time with it, and
Yeah.
maybe I'll come back and say what's up. I better be into it because I bought the like pre. I always say like I'm never gonna do that again, and then this game comes out, I'm like, yeah, I'll buy that. But
maybe you can resell it while you can.
no, you can't because EDF is digital only. I know, and even that, I was like, I'm not gonna pay full price for a digital game, and then EDF5 is digital only. What else can I do? I have no choice. It's not that I'm not gonna play it, right?
Well, this is what you do: you buy a new copy of EDF and give away the new code with the junk, and and that's how you recoup it.
What?
You like buy like can you buy a standalone like a digital copy of it so that like you can include it back into it? Like, is there like a box that comes with just a digital code or something? Or
No.
Oh, okay.
How could I do that anyways?
Oh, so right. The special edition completely is not like anything physical. It's all like digital.
It's all
only.
digital, yes.
Oh, shit, man.
Yeah, well, and that's why I felt stupid when I bought it. But like this kind of game only comes around every once in a while, right? Like there's kind of, and I'm sure you're the same way. There's certain series or certain games where you're like, it doesn't matter what it is, I know I'm going to buy it. And EDF is totally one of those things for me. And so, I have serious reservations about buying full price digital games. I have serious reservations about, the deluxe edition DLC before DLC is released stuff.
Yeah.
But it's EDF, so right.
Yeah.
So that's where I was with EDF.
Well, that's good, I guess. Like, I don't know. For me, the most exciting thing for me this week was actually hanging out with you.
Yeah, that was fun.
So we went to a real grandma and grandpa Italian shop over in Stony Creek, and this is like old school, like grandmother, grandfather Italian food place, and it was like a small little cottage thing, and it was just amazing. Like the experience that was there.
It was something.
It was something, man. So it's called San Remo, and called Chris out for a little bit of lunch there on the way back from Buffalo, picking up some stuff, and then yeah, we met Vincenza and Roberto there, and he gave us quite a meal and had some interesting stories talking about their family and everything. And it was just my family, Chris, and the restaurant people, and we just had a real homey experience. I don't think you'd really have those kinds of restaurants anymore, but it was fun, like hanging around with Chris during that time and just soaking in the atmosphere in there and the good pasta and veal parmesan that we had.
I'm understanding like 60% of what that lady said. I really struggled to understand a lot of what's coming out of her mouth.
Well, I think it was half Italian half the time too.
Yeah.
Did anybody else in your circles know about that place? You're gonna talk to them.
I haven't asked anybody yet.
But yeah, I mean, like they got like 4.5-star reviews on Google, so it's pretty good, and they have some interesting reviews too about kicking people out of the restaurants. So it's a real interesting place.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Other than that, like it's been work and like a Smash most nights. Like I don't know. Like I find myself sometimes when I get into Smash, I'll lose like 2 hours just in adventure mode and like building up like more spirits in the spirit area. But
And I think that's kind of what I was trying to say earlier. Like there's really so much to do in this game, and it's all pretty compelling. And when something kind of gets boring, I can very easily switch over to do something different. And at its core, you'd think, yeah, but it's doing like Smash battles. It's not that different, but it does feel different for some reason. Like playing adventure mode and playing spirit board and doing classic mode, like all feel like very different experiences. And I'm not sure.
It's managing different things. Like spirit board, you're managing your loadout a lot of times, and in I think in the other areas, you're just having quote unquote a pure Smash experience and stuff. At least that's my take on it. So, yeah, and it does feel different to me in those different modes. But I wish that like we had more stuff to talk about. It's just like for me, it's just all Smash right now, really. And I wish I had a little bit more to talk about other things right now. But that's about it for me, as far as games are concerned.
Hey, that's all right though. Smash is fun.
Yeah, it is.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have 1 week left before Christmas, and then the week after episode hundo. Yeah.
So are we like? Are we gonna have like anything special next week for our Christmas episode, or are we just we all just planning for a big old 100?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't really know what's going on. I assume the next week is going to be another quick one.
Yeah.
Given the holidays, but who knows, right?
Yep. Yeah. Our plan is to have an episode at least.
Sure. Well, no, we're going to for sure. So, like even if it's like 10 minutes, like, hey, what's up? Nothing. Okay, bye. Like we gotta make sure that the
counter rolls over.
Best of 2018's got to be the hundo, right?
Sure.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, we'll talk to you next week then at Christmas time.
Yeah. Have a good week, guys.
All right.